loves, it's Brittany Taylor here, and in this video I want to talk about the North Node in Sagittarius, okay? So what is the North Node? The North Node is the planet or the point in astrology that represents the soul's path, where the soul is going in this lifetime, okay? And the type of qualities that you are developing as your soul in order to follow your soul purpose. So the North Node is always directly opposite the South Node, okay? So the South Node represents the point of comfort, the past lives, perhaps, if you believe in that. It's the things you know really, really well already, but if you stay there because it's comfortable, you actually end up becoming kind of stagnant, okay? So I firmly believe that we are meant to balance these two energies. It's not about totally ditching the South Node in favor of the North Node, although some astrologers make it seem like that. I don't believe that. I believe it's about balancing the South Node and actually using the gifts and talents of the South Node in order to go towards the North Node. It's a process, and it's always beneficial to us because the qualities that are inherent in our soul are needed, right? Like, we're not made this way for nothing. We are created as we are for a reason. So anyways, the person with the North Node in Sagittarius, though, is learning to see things through the higher mind rather than the lower mind. There's going to be lifetimes of studying and logic and superficiality and, being all things to all people. So this is the person who their most natural response when they're talking to people, and they talk a lot, their most natural response is to sort of like become who they're talking to, right? Like Gemini. And, then like notice how they're being received by the other person. And if the other person isn't really liking them, then kind of like changing their stance like a chameleon to just like try to keep, the same as the person that they are interacting with. So it's like they don't have a backbone coming into this lifetime. If they're, relying only on their South Node, they're very like flaky and chameleon-like and all over the place, and like, say one thing to one person and mean another thing and say another thing to the other person, say the opposite thing. And so, and there's a lot of mental chatter and bullshit going on in the mind, okay? And not a lot of soul. Sorry. It can be hard for them to hear the voice of their soul because there is so much mental chatter and so much, logic and reason and, well, I have a scientific explanation for that, and where is your scientific explanation? Oh, it's from your soul? Well, I don't believe in that because can you prove the soul scientifically? Sorry. I've had people that have the North Node in Sagittarius say this kind of shit to me, right? Because obviously I'm a soul teacher, right? So I teach spiritual teachings. So obviously I don't have this placement. No. But what they're ultimately coming to learn and develop is like how to use their powerful intelligence, but not overuse it to the expense of their soul and the higher truth and, meaning in life. They're really here to find that meaning in life, and you can't find meaning in life from a book. I mean, like, maybe you could, but like, and you can't find meaning in life from a teacher. The way that you find meaning in life is like, it's through your heart. It's through like what you feel. Like you feel like, wow, like that really gave my life meaning, or like that made me feel like I have a purpose here. That made me feel like I'm not just like a disposable like piece of trash floating in the wind, because people with the South Node in Gemini and North Node in Sag can feel like that. They can ultimately, if they rely too heavily on ego, which they do, they can just feel like a disposable like piece of shit person. And I mean, everybody can feel like this. It's kind of a common human crisis dilemma feeling, but like, when we rely so much on our ego mind or like our logical mind, eventually there's some things that we just don't have an answer for. There's some things we just can't get the answer from books or science or teachers. And or other people. Like, we need to find the answers for ourselves. So what these people are learning is to listen to that voice and like find out what is their truth. Not what's true from books or teachers or other people, but what is their truth. And then once they find it, which is now, here comes the really hard part, is actually sticking with it and believing in themselves and not caring what other people think. If other people disagree with their truth, or if other people think it's crap or think it can't be proven by science or whatever, because now then we're going to have like the karma turnaround. Like, then we'll have how they treated other people come back around, and now they'll have other people saying that to them when they have found their truth. But honestly, they will be way more fulfilled in life, have way more peace and happiness if they do find their truth and stick with it. Okay? So, and also, get out of the head and into the body. Like, go to the gym or go work out or something, because, yeah, there's a lot of mental energy and activity. And I mean, you could look at the Mercury sign to see how the mind is overactive, because it is going to be overactive with this placement. And like, there's a certain like childishness about them as well. Like, they need to learn how to stand for something and stand for themselves. And like, often there's someone else who has sort of tried to direct their life, and they look to other people for that kind of guidance, when really everything is within them, and they can actually end up being some of the best teachers once they tap into that, because they can help other people who are going through that same thing where they're like addicted to books and science and mentors. And like, once they figure it out for themselves, like, hey, the truth is something that can only be found within, then they can teach other people that, and they can teach other people better because they've actually had to go through that themselves. So yeah, there's a great dualness about them, but when they bring in their soul power, they will become whole. So that's, I think, all I wanted to say, you guys. If you like this video, like, comment, let me know what you thought about it. And I am offering one-on-one astrology mentoring now. So if you're wanting to learn the basics of astrology or learn intermediate astrology, I am offering that as well. I'm going to be posting the link below. And I did just create a video series on Jupiter that will also be in the link below. So anyways, you guys, if you're interested in that, you can check that out. If you want to work with me more and go deeper into this, go deeper into your soul purpose, and how to find that and see that and live it through the astrology chart. That's why I'm on this earth. So I love you all. Thanks for watching.